Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to crochet this super cute light and airy crochet top that is the perfect garment for summer. This is the Bluebell crochet top and I hope you like it and enjoy making it with me. You can find this top as a free crochet pattern on my blog BLUEBELL Crochet, and there you will have all the information needed in order to make it, so go and check that out. But if you prefer, you can also get the PDF version on my Etsy shop. To make this sample, I'm going to use this beautiful yarn by Hobby, and this is the Acacia yarn, which is 51% acrylic and 49% cotton. This is a DK weight yarn, so you can use any DK yarn you have at home. You will also need a 5mm crochet hook, scissors, stitch markers, and a measuring tape. First, we're going to start working on the front panel of the top, and for that, you will create a slip knot. And once the slip knot is created, you will work 78 chains in total. Once you worked all the chains, you're going to move to the third chain from the hook, and you're going to work a double crochet into that chain, and this will be the first double crochet of the row. Then you will work one double crochet into the next 3 chains. To make a double crochet, you're going to yarn over and insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over again and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull the last 2 loops of the hook. So now you should have 4 double crochets in total at the beginning of the row. Then you will miss 2 chains and work a shell stitch into the next chain. And for making this stitch, you will work 2 double crochets into the same space, 1 chain, and 2 more double crochets into that same space, and this will create a special shell stitch that we are going to use throughout the pattern. And you will miss again 2 chains, and you're going to work 1 double crochet into the next 4 chains. So this is 1, then I'm going to work another double crochet. This is the 3rd double crochet and the 4th double crochet now. So I have 4 double crochets in total, as you can see here. You will miss 2 chains and work another shell stitch into the following chain. So for that you will work 2 double crochets followed by 1 chain and 2 more double crochets all into the same space in order to create the shell stitch. And this is how your work should be looking by now. You're going to miss 2 chains and work 1 double crochet into the next 4 chains. And this is the sequence you're going to repeat across the first row of your work. So here I'm working on the 3rd double crochet, and this will be the 4th double crochet. So as you can see here, the clusters are separated by 4 double crochets, and there's also a gap in between each cluster. So now this is a sequence you're going to continue working across the row. So I'm going to go ahead and continue working this way until I get to the end of the row. And there is a shell in between those 4 stitches. I'm now working on the last double crochet of the row. And by the end of the row, you should have 8 shell stitches in total. And now you're going to work 2 chains and turn your work. And remember, these 2 chains don't count as a stitch here or throughout the pattern. And you're going to work 1 double crochet into that same space. And then you will work 1 double crochet into the next 3 double crochets. So here I have 2 double crochets. Now I have 3, and this is the 4th. So here I have 4 double crochets. And now I'm going to move to the next shell stitch, and I'm going to work another shell stitch into that chain space. And as you can see here, we are just repeating row number 1. And this is how your work should look like. And then I'm going to move to the next 4 double crochets and work 1 double crochet into each double crochet. So you should have 4 double crochets again. And I'm going to go to that chain space and work another shell stitch into that same space. And this is a sequence you're going to repeat along row number 2 and all the following rows. And as you can see, we are just working shell stitches on top of the previous shell stitches and double crochets on top of previous double crochets. So it's very easy to follow, and you're going to continue working this way until the end of the row. This is a very repetitive pattern, and it's very easy to follow once you get the hang of it. So now I'm going to continue working on this row, and I will meet you at the end. I'm now working on the last double crochet of the row, and this is how row number 2 is going to look like for you. And then you're going to work 2 chains and turn your work, and you're going to continue repeating row number 2 to complete the body of your top. And in this case, for size medium, you will work 18 rows in total. Now I have the first part of my top completed, and I have worked 18 rows in total. And I wanted to let you know that each cluster counts as a row. So I have now 18 rows. And now we're going to start working on shaping the armholes of the top. So for this, you're going to decrease on each side of the top, and this is going to be the same for all the sizes. So you're going to work 2 chains and turn your work. So you will miss that first double crochet and go to the next space and work 1 double crochet there, and this will be the first decrease. And that will be the first double crochet of the row, and then you will complete this sequence by working 2 more double crochets. And at the beginning of the row, you will have 3 double crochet instead of 4, as we decreased 1 stitch. And then you will continue working on the same pattern that we've been working on until you get to the last cluster of the row. So you will continue working the same way until you get to these last 4 stitches. As you can see here, I have that last cluster, and I'm going to work 1 double crochet into the next 2 double crochets. And now I'm going to decrease by making 1 double crochet, 2 together. So for that, I'm going to start by making a normal double crochet, and I'm now going to close it, and I'm going to go to the next double crochet and work another double crochet and close those 2 stitches together. So now I have 1 double crochet, 2 together at the end, and you should have 3 double crochet at the beginning of the row and 3 double crochet at the end. Now you're going to work 2 chains and turn your work, and you're going to miss that first space and work 1 double crochet into the next space and work another double crochet. So now you should have 2 double crochets at the beginning of the row, and then you will continue working on the same stitch pattern than before until you get to the last 3 double crochets of the row. I'm now at the end and I have 3 double crochets left. So now you're going to work 1 double crochet into the next double crochet and work 1 double crochet 2 together into the last 2 double crochets. So here I'm completing the last double crochet 2 together, and I have those 3 loops on the hook, and I'm going to close them all at once. And now you should have 2 double crochets at the beginning of the row and 2 double crochets at the end, and that's another decrease completed. Now you're going to work 2 chains and turn your work, and you're going to miss the first double crochet and work 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, and now you should have 1 double crochet at the beginning of the row, and then you're going to continue working on that stitch pattern until you get to the end of the row, or until you have 2 double crochets left. I'm now at the end of the row, and you're going to work 1 double crochet 2 together over the last 2 double crochets of the row in order to have your last decrease. And now you should have 1 double crochet at the beginning of the row and 1 double crochet at the end. And this is the end of the decreases for the armholes. So now you're going to work 2 chains and turn your work. And now you're going to work 1 double crochet into that same space. So now, from now on, you will have only 1 double crochet at the beginning of the row and 1 double crochet at the end, instead of 4 as we had before. And now you're going to continue working on the same stitch pattern that we've been working, and I will show you how to work the straps. So you're going to work 1 more row until we get to the end, and then we are going to work on the straps. So here I have the last double crochet of the row, and now as you can see, all the decreases are done, and this is the way your top should be looking by now. And now we're going to start working on our straps. And I've marked with a stitch marker the width of the straps. So you have all those details in the written pattern. but I will show you how to work it out here. So you will start by making 2 chains and turn your work. And now you're going to work 1 double crochet into the first double crochet, and you're going to continue working on the same stitch pattern than before until you get to the stitch marker. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue working my way through there, and I will show you what to do next. I have 2 double crochets left, including the one on the stitch marker. So I'm going to work 1 double crochet, 2 together over the last 2 double crochets, as you can see here. And this is going to be the first row of decreases for the strap. And then you're going to work 2 chains and turn your work. Miss that first double crochet and work 1 double crochet into the next 2 double crochets, and this will be another decrease completed. And I'm going to work repeating the same stitch pattern until I get to the end of the row. I'm now at the end of the row, so now you're going to work 2 chains and turn your work. And you're going to continue working on the same stitch pattern until you have 2 double crochets left on the row. And I will show you what to do there. And now here at the end of the row, so you're going to work 1 double crochet, 2 together over those last 2 double crochets in order to complete the last decrease. So remember, we're going to close those 2 stitches together. So here is our strap almost done with all the decreases. Now you're going to work 2 chains and turn your work, and you're going to work 1 double crochet into the first double crochet and continue working your way up, following the same stitch pattern until you have 9 rows in total. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue working this way, and I will show you how it looks at the end. So here I have the first strap of the top completed, and as you can see, I've worked 9 rows in total. Now you're going to work 1 chain and cut the yarn, but you're going to leave at least 30 centimeters of yarn in order to sew the pieces together at the end of your work. And this is how the left side is going to look like. Now you're going to move to the right side of your work, and you're going to attach the new yarn where the stitch marker is placed. And this is how I like attaching new yarn. I like making a knot, so I make sure the yarn is not going to unravel. And now you're going to work 2 chains. And you're going to miss that first double crochet and go to the next one and work 1 double crochet there and 1 double crochet into the next 2 double crochets. And this is going to be the first double crochet of the row. So you should have 3 double crochets at the beginning of the first row, and you're going to continue working on the same stitch pattern until the end of the row. I'm now working the last double crochet of the row, and this is how your first row should look like. Now you're going to work 2 chains and turn your work, and continue working on the same stitch pattern until you have 3 double crochets left on the row, and I will show you what to do next. I'm now at the end of the row, so you're going to work 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, and you're going to work 1 double crochet, 2 together over the last 2 double crochets of the row in order to work another decrease. And now this is row number 2 completed, and you're going to work 2 chains and turn your work and miss the first double crochet and work 1 double crochet into the following one. So you will have 1 double crochet at the beginning of the row and 1 double crochet at the end of the row, and this is going to be the last row of decreases, and you're going to continue working on the same stitch pattern until the end of the row, and then you're going to continue working until you have 9 rows in total, as we did on the other strap. So for that, you're going to work 2 chains and turn your work and continue working on the same stitch pattern. And remember, you should have 1 double crochet at the beginning and 1 double crochet at the end. So I'm going to continue working this way, and I will meet you at the end. I have now finished working on the straps, which means the front panel of the body is completed. And this is how your work should be looking by now. And now we're going to repeat the same steps for the back without working on the straps. So you're going to work on the armholes, and then you're going to continue working for 13 rows in total until the back panel is completed. And then you're going to attach the 2 pieces together. As you can see here on the video, I'm going to use a tapestry needle, and I'm going to attach the first shoulder to the back. And here I'm going to go through both loops of the stitches for the front panel and the back panel in order to join the 2 pieces together. And you can use any sewing technique that you prefer, but I always find this is my favorite one, and it never unravels, and it's super easy to make and super quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and join my pieces together just on the shoulders, and I will show you what to do next. I'm almost finished sewing the straps, the first straps, and I wanted to let you know this is going to be the wrong side of our work. So then you will need to turn your work inside out. And this is how I secure the yarn at the end of the sewing. And this is how your work is going to look like after sewing the pieces together. And then I'm gonna go ahead and weave in that last end. So I make sure my work is looking super nice and tidy. And I always like going through the stitches back and forth at least 3 times in order to make sure my work is not going to unravel. You're going to repeat the same steps on the other side of your top. You will then join together the two sides of your top, and this is going to be the body portion. So that will be the 18 rows that we worked to create the body, and this is going to be the armholes that is going to stay open. And you're going to use the same technique you used for the shoulders. And in my case, I'm going to use the tapestry needle and sew the pieces together. So I'm going to go ahead and sew the pieces together, and I will show you how it looks at the end. I've joined the two pieces together, and this is how the seam is looking from the right side of your work. And you're going to repeat the same steps on the other side. And now this is how the top should be looking by now. And we are going to add sleeves into the top, directly into the top, so there will be no sewing at the end, which I think is great. So now you will be attaching the yarn on the side seam of your work, and always working on the right side of your work. So you're going to attach the yarn and work 3 chains, and these 3 chains will count as the first double crochet of the round. And for the sleeves, we'll be working in rounds instead of rows. And now you're going to work into the double crochets from the previous rows that are now lying horizontally, as you can see there. And after the 3 chains, you're going to work a V-stitch into that first space, and a V-stitch will be 1 double crochet, 1 chain, and 1 double crochet all into the same space. And then you will go to the next row, as you can see there, and work over the double crochet that is lying horizontally, another double crochet. And now go to the next row and work a V-stitch. And now go to the next space and work a double crochet. And this is the sequence you're going to follow for making the sleeves. So, and when you get to the seam, I will show you what to do there. But you are going to work around the sleeves, following this sequence of double crochets and V-stitches in order to create the first round of your sleeve. And when you get to the seam of the shoulders, you're going to work a double crochet, and this is for size medium. but for other sizes you might need to work a V-stitch into that space. And then you're going to continue working the sequence of double crochets and V-stitches until you get to the end of the round. I'm now almost at the end of the round, and I'm going to work a V-stitch into that last available space, and then I'm going to join the round by working a slip stitch into the third chain from the 3 chains that we worked at the beginning of the round. And by the end of this round you should have 14 double crochets and 14 V-stitches for a size medium. And this is our first round of the sleeves completed. And now you're going to work 3 chains, and you're going to work on into that V-stitch from the previous row, and we're going to do a shell stitch as we worked before. So the shell stitch in this case is 2 double crochets, 1 chain and 2 double crochets all into the same space, and this is going to be a round of increases in order to create the ruffles. Then you're going to work a double crochet into the next double crochet, and this is a sequence you're going to repeat along the sleeves. So you're going to work a shell stitch into the V-stitch from the previous round, and 1 double crochet into the double crochet from the previous round. Here I have my second shell completed, and I need to work 1 double crochet into the next double crochet. And now I'm working another shell stitch. So this is a sequence you're going to repeat. I'm going to go ahead and continue working this way, and I will meet you at the end of the round. I'm now working on the last shell of the round. And now you're going to join the round by working a slip stitch into that third chain from the initial 3 chains. And this is round number 2 completed. Then you will work 3 chains again and work a shell stitch into the previous shell stitch. Then you will work 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, and as you can see, we are just repeating round number 2 without increasing anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and complete this round, and I will meet you at the end. I'm now working on the last shell of the round, and I'm going to join my work by working a slip stitch into that third chain from the 3 chains that we worked at the beginning. And now for round number 4, I'm going to work 3 chains, and I'm going to work a shell into the shell from the previous round. So here I'm working the last double crochet of the shell, and I have a shell completed. And then I'm going to work 2 double crochets into the next double crochet. and this is going to be an increase. So this is a sequence we're going to work for round number 4. You're going to work a shell into the shell from the previous round and 2 double crochets into the next double crochet. And this is a sequence you're going to repeat for round number 4 until the end of the round. So I'm going to go ahead and continue working this way, and I will meet you at the end of the round. You're going to work 1 double crochet into that 3 chain from the beginning, and now you're ready to join round number 4 with a slip stitch. Now for the last round, you're going to work 3 chains, and you're going to repeat round number 4. So this round, the last round, is going to be the same round as round number 4, the same steps. So you're going to work a shell into the shell from the previous round and 2 double crochets into the next 2 double crochets. As you can see here, I'm working 2 double crochets and a shell. So you're going to go ahead and continue working this way, and I will meet you at the end of the round. So now I'm almost at the end of the round, and I only need to work that last double crochet, and I'm ready to join round number 5 with a slip stitch. Now you can chain 1 and cut the yarn because the first sleeve is completed, and then this is how your sleeve is going to look like, and you're going to repeat these steps for the other sleeve. Now we're going to work on the bottom of our top, and this is going to be ruffles as well. And as an optional step, you can work a round of single crochets, and the way you're going to work this is by making 1 double crochet into each available space. And this is going to make things a bit easier when you're working the ruffles, especially the first round, but it's totally optional. And now you're going to attach the yarn into that side seam of your top, and this could be either the right or the left, and you're going to work 3 chains. You're going to miss 2 spaces and work a shell into the next space. And this shell is going to be the same shell we worked for the body, so you're going to work 2 double crochets, 1 chain, and 2 double crochets all into the same space. And you're going to miss 2 spaces again, or 2 chains, or 2 stitches, and work another double crochet. And this is a sequence you're going to repeat across the bottom of your top in order to work the first round. So you're going to miss 2 spaces and work 1 shell, miss 2 more spaces and work 1 double crochet. So here I have the shell completed, and I'm going to miss 2 spaces and work 1 double crochet. And you're going to repeat this sequence until you get to the end of the round. So all along the bottom of your top. So I'm going to go ahead and I will show you how to work at the end of the round. I wanted to show you I'm almost at the end of the round with only a few stitches left. And in order to accommodate your stitch pattern, you're going to miss one space instead of two for working the next shell. And you're going to do this twice. So you're going to miss one space, work your shell, and miss another space. And work the double crochet. And now you're going to miss 2 chains instead of 1 as normal and work the last shell. And you're going to be left with only 1 chain space, but it's totally okay and it's not going to affect the pattern. And if you need to miss other chains in order to accommodate your stitch count for your own size or for your own top, just go ahead and do it. And then you're going to miss that last chain space and join your round by making a slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the 3 chains we worked at the beginning. And this is round number 1 completed. Now you're going to work 4 chains to start round number 2. And work 1 double crochet into that same space. And this is going to count as the first V-stitch of the round. Then you're going to work 1 shell into the shell from the previous round. And work a V-stitch into the double crochet from the previous round. So you're going to work 1 double crochet, 1 chain, and 1 double crochet all into the same space. And this is a sequence you're going to repeat for round number 2 until you get to the end of the round. I've completed round number 2 and I only need to work a slip stitch in order to join the round. And now we're going to work on the 3rd round, and for this I'm going to work 3 chains, and I'm going to work 1 double crochet into that same space, 1 chain, and 2 double crochets all into that chain space. And this will create our first shell of the round. As you can see there, I have a shell. And then I'm going to work another shell into the shell from the previous round. And this is what we're going to repeat on round number 3. You're going to work only shells into the shells from the previous round and the V-stitches. So I'm going to go ahead and continue working this way until I get to the end of the round. Now I'm working the last shell of the round, and you're going to slip stitch in order to join your work. And this is how round number 3 should look like for you. Now to start working on the last round, you're going to move with a slip stitch into the next chain space and work 3 chains into that same space and work 1 double crochet, 1 chain, and 2 double crochets all into the same space in order to create the first shell of the round. And for this last round, you're going to repeat round number 3 all along. So you're going to work only shell stitches into each shell available until you get to the end. So I'm going to go ahead and continue working this way until I get to the end of the round, and I will show you what to do next. I'm now working on the last shell, and now you can go ahead and work a slip stitch in order to join your work. And this is going to be the last round for the ruffles, so you can cut your yarn. And this is how the bottom of your top is going to look like when you complete the 4 rounds. And now we are going to work a little trim around the neckline just to make it look nicer and tidier. So you're going to attach your yarn onto the left shoulder seam to start working on the neckline of the top, and you're going to work 1 chain and 1 single crochet into the next space, and then you're going to work 1 double crochet into the next 2 spaces, and you're going to work 3 chains. And now you're going to go to the base of the single crochet, as you can see there. I'm taking only 2 loops and work a slip stitch. And this is going to be a picot stitch. So this is a sequence you're going to repeat for the neckline. You're going to work 3 single crochets and 1 picot stitch. And in order to accommodate the stitches or to distribute your stitches around the neckline, I would recommend for the straps to work 2 single crochets into each row of your straps. So in this way you won't have extra stitches, or you won't be missing any stitches, and it will be evenly distributed. So as you can see there, I have another row, and I'm working 1 single crochet and another single crochet into that same row. And then I have another single crochet and 3 chains, and I'm gonna go to that base of the single crochet stitch and work a slip stitch. So this is the way you're going to work for this round until the neckline is completed. And it's going to be only 1 round for the trim. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue working this way until I get to the end of the round. And when you get to the end of the round, you're going to work a slip stitch into the first single crochet of the round, work 1 chain, and you're ready to cut the yarn. And now your top is completed. Now you only need to weave in all the ends, but your top is completed. And now you have the perfect garment for this summer. And it has this lovely trim around the neckline, which I love. I think it's so beautiful. So I hope you enjoy making this top with me. And thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.